Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Clickbait. We're going to break down what went down in Bachelor Nation this week. We're also going to break down the episode. We have 2 episodes a week, so we have a lot to talk about. Clickbait of the week, and then our very special guest. You know her as Jill. I know her as Jill. She's on the show. She's happy. She's sad. A lot of emotions are coming out of her. How are you guys doing today?
I know her as naked and safe.
You know her as Jill. We know her as Jill.
I know her as naked and safe. That's what she said. She said she's naked and she's safe. So, good job.
I'm so glad.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm so glad someone else got naked on this damn show.
Yeah, it's about time.
Look, Tia, y'all gonna have a lot to talk about. I said, they love making people naked. But you know what's funny?
They're so sweet.
They always make sure that the guy, it's like the guy. They're like, if the dude is cool with it, then like she's gonna get into it, right? Like, why is there never just like a naked girl who's like, for real?
They just know.
Well, there was. It was Demi, but they couldn't air any of it.
Oh, yes, it's true.
You're correct.
It wasn't part of the date.
100 points goes. Yeah, it wasn't a date. It was actually just for everyone. Okay, as we all sit.
I forgot about that.
Tia, you were on the last naked date with Kenny, who I would say is similar to what's his name?
Jacob.
Really?
Jacob.
Really?
You would say I know his name. I keep wanting to say Joshua for some reason.
You want to say Tarzan?
Yeah, we'll call him Tarzan. Tarzan, he's definitely doing the naked thing.
Yeah, Kenny and Jacob both just loved being naked.
Yeah.
So, but that's why he reminds you of him, because I don't think he reminds me of Kenny at all, besides the naked part.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's it. That's what I mean. It's just
because also,
thing.
because also like Kenny was just like, I just so happen to be naked because I have a good body. It wasn't like every day like. He wasn't like
but Kenny did come down in the Speedo.
He did, but like Jacob.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The sound effects. I'm like, honey, the sound effects coming out of this man.
When he was working out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also when he was like, Anejo, Reposado, that was hilarious. That was very funny. When he
was funny. I know. Fuller's laugh is the best thing ever, too.
Yeah, her cluckle. Cluckle. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay, we'll get into all that and all the episode stuff later on. But a few announcements from Bachelor Nation. Clare Crawley's engaged, guys.
Yep.
Get it, girl. To, what's his name? Ryan Dawkins. People figured that out on Instagram, too, because when Claire first posted a video with him, people figured out who he was. He does something for Mascot Sports, which every time I read that, I think he is a mascot.
That's what I thought too.
For a sports team.
When I first saw, like, she got engaged to a mascot, but obviously he owns Mascot Sports. I'm not really sure what that is. I was just like, he's 47, and I was like, that guy, he looks great for his age.
Yeah, he does. They're a very cute couple. And he's very tall.
He's very tall. We love a tall king. We love our short
And
kings,
the engagement was really sweet, too.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, and I'm happy for Claire. It looks like I don't know her personally at all, but she seems to be very happy with this guy. And
yeah,
I have been a Claire. Listen, I have been a Claire stan from the beginning.
You have. You're like the number one Claire fan.
You know what it is? I think, people go through shit and things happen. And we have seen things happen to her publicly on this show. And I'm sure in her personal life, she shared things that's happened, in her family and stuff too. And she is someone that I see working on herself. She is doing the work. And what happens when we do the work? We find bae. So,
and she's been engaged
Natasha,
a few times,
I don't know
right?
what you're
on the
talking
show.
about over there.
Natasha, it's 7 p.m. where Natasha is, and she's drinking wine while we're drinking water.
Yeah.
So she's really into this.
Honestly, when I saw this engagement, I said, you go, girl. You go.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy for her.
I'm happy for her, too.
Really happy.
She was engaged to Benoit, right? Benoit.
Yeah.
And Dale. Both engagements from the show. Sometimes people just do better outside the show. I can relate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she definitely clearly wears her heart on her sleeve too, and that's just, I'm very happy for her. And this man is older, and he seems like he just love on her, and he just love her, and that's all that matters. So I'm very happy for them, and I hope. Wait, do we know if he has kids? Does he have kids? Has he been married before? I don't know his whole full story. Does anybody know?
I feel like I
it
looked
never
into
says.
it. I think he has kids. Mm-hmm. I think he has. I think he has a kid,
which is also like amazing.
I'm looking it up. Oh wait, it says on his Instagram, girl dad.
Okay, there you go. That's
See,
yeah.
See,
So-
he know how to treat a lady. He said somebody gonna treat my baby.
That's so cute.
Yep. No, it's really
That
good.
he has it on his Instagram. Okay, and his page is private. All right, we love that for him.
Yeah.
Go, Claire. Congratulations. Next story this week. Very, very interesting article.
Random.
Very random. Yeah, I guess there was nothing else crazy going on like in Bachelor World. So, Kesha, where the hell has she been? Kesha is says she's willing to be the next Bachelorette under one condition. And never in a million years would I guess what the one condition was. But she said that she would be the next Bachelorette if all the guys were bikers.
And hairy chest.
Old,
Right.
hairy bikers.
Yeah, old hairy bikers. Is Keisha? Keisha's the one that don't stop,
Kesha.
make it hot. Don't
Kesha.
stop, make it hot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
TikTok. The TikTok song
Okay,
before
yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
was a
She-
thing.
Yeah.
She was a sensation.
But
she was
she-
a judge on Bachelor Into Your Heart as well.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. She's
So
a
she
big
clearly
fan of the
watches
show.
Yeah, she clearly watches the show.
She's a big Bachelorette fan, she says, because she likes to see the women in control.
I would agree with that. Yes. She said, I want to see these ladies win. She said, I want 50 men following after me. Well, not 50, but 50 would be nice, let me tell you.
I mean, Kesha
I
as a
would love
lead,
it if
that'd
they
be
did.
entertaining.
I would love it if they did a celebrity. Like almost every show has at this point has a celebrity edition. Like you got Jeopardy, you got Family Feud. Let's get a
Jeopardy.
Bachelor celebrity edition. You know, they
You
don't have
make
to
a
film for
point.
2 months. Film for a
you
month
make
and
a
a half.
point. And
It would be
also,
very entertaining.
her one condition, like, isn't crazy. Like, some people will be like, my one condition is you got to pay me $100 million. I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Well, I'm
her
sure
one
that's a
con-
condition as well.
Well,
Right.
No. That she said her one condition, she loves the show. I honestly don't think that she would be crazy on the price if they could do it in a timeline that makes sense for her. I mean, come on. She's a celebrity, right?
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Okay,
She would
fine.
have to
I
get
don't.
paid
Yeah, a
of money.
lot.
No, not $100 million. No, I'm not $100 million. I'm just saying whatever it is, whatever they need to do to make it happen. I think that there are some celebrities out there. I mean, listen, women want men chasing after them, right? Look at this beach. Look at this paradise beach, honey. Johnny makes a comment. He goes, are we just the worst group of men? Women are self-eliminating left and right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't know
kidding.
what's.
I don't believe that.
Should we jump
Yeah.
to the episode?
Okay, this is
Yeah.
really why, we're here is to talk
Yeah.
about Paradise. It's 4 hours every week, so it's a lot going on. But there is
I
a
have a
little
very
bit of
important-
drama, nothing crazy.
But I have a
Monday
very
night's
important question.
episode, Tuesday
Let's-
was more
Let's try to go in order though. What do we got for?
Wait, but Tia, did you cry this week?
I got emotional, but I can't remember why. What happened? Oh,
No, I cried. I cried. Don't make me cry.
watching the show?
Yeah.
Or just in general, because I cry every fucking day. But it just,
No, I'm talking about watching the show, Mom.
okay, I remember being sad at one point, but I don't remember why. Was it when Sierra left? Did that make me sad? I feel like there were multiple things that were kind of heartbreaking,
Brandon and
can't remember what.
Serene.
Brandon and Serene on Tuesday's episode had me emotional as shit with the birthday thing. That did have me emotional, but I also had a few nervous breakdowns this week, so the tears kind of get confused with the
You
episode.
okay?
And
Look, you okay, Tia? You okay, baby? You okay?
Let's try to break it down in order as far as like what happened, the big stuff that went down. So, episode 1, Justin asks Genevieve like you're not gonna, or tells
yeah.
Genevieve like you're not gonna kiss me. They make out. Genevieve then freaks out because now she feels bad about Aaron. And then it just seems like the next day she's like, I made a mistake, Justin. I want to be with Aaron. And Justin's like, I don't care if you do or not. I'm over it. So that was kind of a thing.
Yeah, that was a little cringy for me too. Like the guy in high school, it's like, you're not going to give me a hug? Give me a hug. But anyway, whatever. Justin was just trying to gauge how Genevieve felt, I guess. But I was like, don't ask her that.
My opinion.
She's going to do it.
My opinion on Justin and Genevieve, they just would not work.
It's not going to work. It's just not working.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Also, I what's interesting about these dates, it's the same thing with Genevieve when he went on the date with Victoria. It's like, I'm still operating from before you left and yesterday. He's still operating from before you left and yesterday. Like, last time I saw you was your birthday and I did all these things and we were good. You're not going to kiss me on your birthday? Like, everyone was like, oh, it's manipulative, it's this, it's that. I was like, again, I'm a Justin stan, you guys know that. But I was like, I mean, he's like, yo, like, it's my birthday. What's up? What's going on?
There's so many birthdays this year.
Truly.
Too many birthdays.
Paradise.
Stop
Yeah,
celebrating the birthdays. One birthday a season. That's it. And
we had a fake birthday. We had two real birthdays.
Yeah.
Lace wins the birthday thing. She faked it. She was
1000%.
first. It's over. Stop with the birthdays.
And also, going home on your birthday, let's not forget, Tammy went home on her birthday. Paradise can be savage.
Okay, so then we have, what else big happened first episode?
Michael and Sierra.
Michael and Sierra break up. I would say that's probably the, we'll do Sally, then Michael and Sierra. So Sally comes down.
Sally was episode 2.
She was okay. So Michael and Sierra break up. I think we were all on the same page. Where at least like from a viewer standpoint, it didn't seem like Michael was romantically into her.
Right.
She definitely thought that, and I wasn't like a huge Sierra fan because like the Clayton women tell all thing. I was just kind of like, usually the person that's the loudest there, I'm just like, whatever. But I really liked her in Paradise, and I really felt bad for her because she was not expecting that. Yeah.
I love her. I think, and this is my hot take, with everything that Michael's saying about him being in his head and blah, 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 it's like if she would have applied a little resistance and wasn't so available and was flirting with other guys and doing all this other stuff, like he clearly was like, this girl is here for me. She let it be known, and that works really well for some people like Brandon and Serene, and it doesn't work for other, like Hannah and Dylan, right? It ended up working out. For some people, it doesn't work out.
I feel like she was following his lead, though. I don't feel like she was just doing too much.
No, I don't think she was doing too much. I'm just saying for him, like as men are and as women are, because sometimes it's for women as well. If you put all your eggs in a basket and a person knows that you're all in with them, sometimes they're like, yeah, no, I want to see what else is out here, just because the resistance isn't applied. I feel like if Sierra was talking to other dudes, Michael would have been like, hold on, wait a minute. But regardless, that's not her person, and I really wish her the best of the best because she is a good egg. She's a good gem. She's a gem.
I don't think Sierra should have. I think the only person she was into was Michael, and she stuck with that and went with it the whole way. And I think that was the right move. And I think the way she handled it at the end was very mature. And I felt for her. I really did. She was the one person.
I don't think she did anything wrong. I'm just saying, watching it, I questioned, and we would have to ask Michael this, I questioned, the motives, because he's like, I get deep with someone. He literally said it before they even got deep. I get deep with someone and then I get scared. I get deep with someone and then I get scared, So he pulls back.
But I think that's true. I don't think Michael's lying about that. I don't think so. I just don't think Michael's ever been really into somebody, and I think he just goes deep with them because he's.
You don't think he was into Katie?
I don't remember the season. Like, I don't remember exactly how they.
He self-eliminated.
Yeah, then no. Then if he self-eliminated, no. I think if Michael falls head over heels for somebody at the beginning, I think he's he's going to be there. And I just don't think that was the case with Sierra.
Yeah, I just read Sierra's thing too, and her.
Yeah, could you paraphrase that? Because it was long. I mean, we just got it now, so, you know.
Yeah, she was basically saying, like, I recognize that it wasn't in my best interest to stay. Some may think I came on strong, but remember you have 1 month. A day feels like a week in paradise. When someone has a child, you must be accepting of their responsibility.
She was
basically explaining like why she left. She was like, I didn't want to see or be in a love triangle or.
Yes, and I respect that, and I get that, and it's like, yeah, why am I here? What, I don't want to see him with someone else. It's not me. I'm out. And she said, redirection is beautiful. Amen. Amen, sis.
Yeah, she said Michael's a grown man. His choices and feelings are valid, and the vision he may have for his future is as well. Let's respect that. So,
yeah, I don't
really
think
like
she came.
Sierra.
I don't think she came on too strong either.
No,
I know
I don't
there's
think so
probably-
either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She was very honest. She was very, I mean, her talking about his kid like so much, like, you would think someone will want that, you know, for someone to be that thoughtful. So just the way it happened after she bought the stars and then he did that, I was
that was.
allow it.
I know, and he already
If I
had
had a
these doubts.
slingshot on that beach, I would have popped Michael in the back of the head.
I know. She's a good gal. Okay.
All right, and then we have Brandon and Serene. They say they love each other.
Did they say I love you, or they say I'm falling in love with you?
I think they exchanged their love.
Falling,
whatever. Falling.
It's different.
You don't, whatever. They said they're falling in love, and I'm sure next week they're gonna both say they love each other. They but they clearly are in love. Not only
they're
are they
very
in
cute.
love, I think they're gonna get engaged at the end, and I think that they are gonna last forever.
I freaking hate when people say, like, in an interview, they're like, Brandon and Serene have no problems right now. There's no issues because something is going to freaking happen.
Yeah.
Something
I'm sure something will happen. But I don't think there's nothing that could happen that I don't think that they will get through whatever.
That they can't get through.
Well, yeah, that's true. It reminds me of Kevin and Astrid. They were just kind of like behind the scenes the whole time on our first round. And they were like in it the whole time. And they got in their heads because they were like, why are we so good when everybody else is so bad? And so they freaking broke up at the end, but they're good now. Anyhow, I could see that happening with Brandon and Serene. Not them breaking up, but them staying together.
Yeah.
I think Serene. So for our listeners, I always get mad at this show when they make me cry because I feel like I spent enough tears on this beach. Serene had me crying, y'all, when she was talking about how she's never
Her birthday parties. Oh, that's so sad.
Just like how no one's made her feel seen like Brandon, and like he makes her think that she's worth it, and then he's like, you are. I said, oh Lord, y'all, just stop. So
yeah,
that was so sweet.
Very, very sweet. Okay.
Well, to see everyone walking up too with the cake was just
that was
so
nice.
Cute.
And then we have Sally finally makes it to the beach. Genevieve and Shanae call her out that she was talking to her ex before going on the show, which I don't think she was hiding. So that I thought was a little confusing.
It was a little weird though. She said, I had work stuff. And then she said, well, I work with my ex.
The whole Sally storyline at this point.
Throw it away.
I'm extremely confused.
I didn't catch
Throw
that
it away.
part.
Like, it's not her suitcase. It is her suitcase.
Throw the whole storyline away to me.
She's not there for work.
Yeah. So Sally is the person who stayed for the hour. We've figured out, which isn't shocking at this point.
No.
Did Genevieve and Shanae really need to ask her questions? No. But like, she really didn't need to get that rattled over. Like, yo, are you talking to your ex? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, she did. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Sally had to get that rattled. If she was into
the reaction
Justin,
didn't match the question. Like, Shanae and Genevieve could have gone a lot harder. We've seen it. I don't know.
And if she was into Justin and he was into her, then they should have talked.
Well, when she said,
but I don't know.
When she said they knew I didn't want my ex in this.
Well, yeah, was she talking about that like situation, like the thing that Wells did, or like Genevieve?
Well, no, she obviously didn't see that.
No. I think what she's talking about is the fact that like she didn't want to, the first time around she had all but her whole storyline is her and her ex. That's her whole storyline. How are you not going to talk about it? This is the reason why you left, because of your ex. What? Like, how are we
James
not going
kept
to talk about
chirping in
this?
too, and I'm like, James, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
James was like, listen, honey, it's a dating
the narrator.
show. We need to know your resume, honey. You done been
I'm like, what?
James is working on that beach.
Oh, God.
And then,
Yoy.
but yeah, whatever. She's there. She's gone.
I'm actually glad, honestly. I
wish that Sally would have just made her flight and been there
Owned it.
day one.
Owned it.
Because I think if she was there day one, that would have been fun to watch. Because her and Genevieve definitely would have went at it, and I don't think Sally would have necessarily left, and then we would have seen
because she would
more
have
drama.
She would have been like, I deserve to be here just as much as you. It's hard to come into this hostile environment when like people feel like they deserve to be there more than you do, and all these other things. But Sally's situation with the whole, like, Sally, if you listen to this podcast, I don't know, maybe she needs to quit her job. If you work with the ex and, you know, she's like, out of respect for my ex, I should leave. Out of respect for your ex, are you never going to date anyone else ever again? Like, girl,
That sounds like controlling and manipulative. It doesn't sound healthy.
Yeah, girl, we're going to get you another job or something. Or,
Well, we don't know, but
I don't know the ins and outs. But I would love to
Sa-
have her on this podcast. I would love to have Sally.
The Sally storyline's over. Okay. And then the last thing we have is Jacob and Jill. They go on a date. They get naked the way Tia did. They seem to be into each other. Everybody on the beach says they're like the weirdest.
I like it. It
the
works.
Weirdest couple. It works. And then there's obviously drama because then Kira comes back down and tells Jacob, like, we have unfinished business. Jacob basically says, like, yeah.
He entertains it for a tad too long.
He entertains it for quite some time and then breaks it off. And then Kira leaves with Romeo. So,
What? They are made for each other at this point.
Yeah.
That shit was bizarre.
It really was.
I think Romeo knew that he was going to be sent home anyway. So he was like, you know what? I'll go with Kira. And then immediately, as they were about to get in the car, Kira's like, I didn't expect this. This is so great. And Romeo looks like he's being held in a room against his will. He's like, this is great. That was fucking weird. But whatever. Good riddance to them. There's one less guy that has to.
This is the one thing I have nothing to say about. I have nothing to say about this.
It was beyond.
My statement is no statement.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of it just seems like so much at this point. That's why it's refreshing to watch, like, Brandon and Serene, because they're just being like, they're obviously falling in love, but they're also just being themselves.
Wait, are they the only like couple right now?
I think so. I don't think there is another couple.
Because Teddy and Andrew were together.
No.
Michael and Sierra were together. They're all gone.
I think like Johnny and Victoria, they've shown them like make out a few times. And then we see like Brittany and Andrew talk. So could that potentially be something?
I mean, what about Ashley and Jared? They're a couple.
Ashley and Jared's the strongest couple on the beach.
I'm glad, justice for Brittany. I'm glad that she got some time this week, because I was like, this girl seems cool as hell. Why is nobody like picking up on her? And she went out with damn Peter.
Yeah.
What the heck? And she tried to give him a chance, but that guy he was like, I was humble, I was kind, I was funny.
I was like, when I laughed when he was like, there's just no, like, she has to be here for the clout. Because,
to be an Instagram model, she's the least likely.
He's like, that's the only explanation.
She's not into me. She has ulterior motives.
That was actually quite funny. I like that.
Tia, question for you. If you were in paradise right now and you had to go on a date with Romeo or Peter, who would you?
At least Peter would be entertaining. Romeo is I could not handle Romeo. At least Peter would be. I could laugh at him.
Yeah. Tia,
Can I be honest?
Peter.
Can I be honest? I'm gonna hit the violence button and go Romeo. Because Peter is so corny. I would be like, just go. go. At least
That
the
makes
chaos.
honestly that makes sense for both of you. I would have.
Yeah,
That's
makes
what I would have
100% sense.
Let's
Okay.
clickbait. Let's do the clickbait. Real quick, 'cause
Clickbait,
we have
y'all.
Jill waiting in the
wings. All right.
circle. Yeah.
Okay, this clickbait, y'all. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's so
hopefully y'all help me with it, because and any of our listeners, let me know. So, situationships. Why Gen Z is embracing the gray area is what they're calling this clickbait. Now, as we know, situationships, for definition, is when you are hooking up with someone, you guys are in a situation, you probably go on dates together, you hang out together, but you're not in a relationship, but you're also more than friends, right? So, this article is talking about how Gen Z is really embracing this, because there's so many factors in life now that is so much more than I like you too. Okay, let's be together. Let's be boyfriend. Let's get engaged. Let's get married. Let's have kids. Right? So, I agree. This is what I'll say. Although I agree with the article, I agree that it's more than just attraction now. It's more than just finances now. Women have their own money. I don't need to be with you because you got money. I got my own money, right? More than ever. Then, like our parents, two is better than one. How, two incomes is better than one household, which I still think is true, by the way. Our money together is better. Anyways, so also, we just have more of a say. Women have more of a say, and we're not just looking for a guy for, I guess, security, if that makes sense, right? Like physical security, if that makes sense. So I agree with that. But this gray area, how do people thrive in any gray areas? For me, I'm very black and white when it comes to things. Either it's like a hookup or we're dating. It's one of the two. So Tia and Joe, I open this up to you and I ask you, one, before you guys were engaged, have you ever been in a situationship? And if you were, was it on your terms or was it the person? Or have you ever found yourself randomly in a situationship? Like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't know what's going on. Joe, I'm going to go with you first.
I would say, yeah, I think I've just, I don't know, like, especially later on in life, I'm pretty honest up front. So I don't know if I would consider it a gray area. I just think I've definitely had casual relationships, or like if very casual. But
did a girl ever think, like, it's casual to you, but she's like, this is my boyfriend, I love him?
No. I don't think so, no.
Because you were very honest. So no gray area for Joe. Tia, how about you?
Okay, yeah. I hate the word situationship. First of all, this is not a new concept. When in my day, like in college, in the early 20s, it was called the talking phase, and you never really got out of the talking phase into the "will you be my girlfriend, will you be my boyfriend" phase. So that was kind of like how I related to that. I don't know how old Gen Z people are. Early
Gen Z.
Apparently, you're from the 20s, so
they're younger than us. So they're
20s.
Like. Yeah, I would say, okay, so 30. So yeah, they're like, 19, let's just say 19 to 27.
Okay, we're millennials, right? That's
yeah, I was just going to ask that. Yeah, we're millennials.
We're millennials. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Gen Z or younger. So yeah, they're going to be in situationships because they're not ready to get married yet. Just like I wasn't ready to get married when I was in my early 20s and couldn't get out of the talking phase. But yeah, sometimes it did get to a point where it was like, I'm more into this than you. This isn't going to work. But you have to be clear. Like, if you just want to hook up with someone, just be clear about it.
Well, so that's good you brought up the talking phase, because I think the biggest difference with millennials and the talking phase and Gen Z and the situationship, it's like we're agreeing. You and I are agreeing to be in this situation together. You're not my boyfriend. I'm not your girlfriend. We're more than friends. We hang out. We do things together. But I don't have expectations of you being my fiance or boyfriend or more than just whatever it is that we're doing in this moment. And I think it's like a mutual agreement. That's why they're calling it a situation.
Eventually, one person is going to get tired of that or realize, like, shit, if I want to actually be married one day, if that's what they want, if they want to be married with kids, they're like, this isn't going to work anymore. I don't know. Did y'all see the girl in the article? Like, beautiful girl, TikToker, I guess. And she said she's been in a situationship for a year with this dude. I'm like, y'all are just playing house and, like, playing with your feelings. I don't know. It's a weird-ass concept to me. If you could see yourself marrying someone, put the effort in and just freaking do it. If not, be like, I gotta go.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice, Tia. Land on the fucking law.
I feel like I'm just old and I'm like, that's fucking weird.
I think that sums up millennials and Gen Zers correctly. We don't mess with the gray area. We don't like it. We don't like it.
Yeah, I'm very black and white. Like my whole vibe, my whole
Yeah,
carpet,
exactly.
pillows, sweater, black, white.
She is a walking non-gray area.
Like, just shit or get off the pot. Come on.
Yes,
Someone that I think this entire time in Paradise has been in a gray area is Jill, which would be the perfect time right now to bring her on. So everyone, please welcome Jill to the podcast. Jill, what's up? I met you briefly at Audrey's, Jared and Ashley's coffee shop. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
Jill, you're my favorite. I said it last week. I'll say it again. You're the freaking best.
Thank you. I try.
You're so funny. Not your struggles, but just how you handle things. And, like, it's just so freaking funny.
I know you kind of have to, like, you just have to laugh because it's
so you don't
insane.
cry. Yes.
Exactly. Well, I do that
agree.
too. But
Yeah. You're doing a little bit of everything. Let's break down go to the beginning. Let's break down the first episode. We know Kara was on Talking It Out and kind of talked about, like, what went down in those beginning stages. So you went down, you were interested in Romeo. There was like Kara and Romeo hooked up before. Can you, like, kind of break that situation down for us?
yeah. So I had met Romeo. Kira and I went to New York and we met Romeo there together. I think they knew each other from Harvard, but I was meeting him for the first time then.
Romeo went to Harvard.
Romeo went to Harvard.
Yes.
Yeah. Man has a PhD. Yeah.
Shit. That's even worse.
Well, you know, he was busy studying and not dating.
Exactly.
Clearly,
That's exactly it. Yeah, he didn't have time to, like, sow his wild oats. So that's what happened, I'm assuming. Yeah, so I met him in New York, and then we all
But
became friends.
are you, not to cut you off, are you and Kara friends at this point? You guys went to New York together?
Yeah, we are good friends at this point.
Okay.
We had traveled together for, like, multiple weeks. We were, like, best friends at that point.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
but did she say at any point we're gonna meet up with Romeo and you know I like him?
So yeah, so she was like, she said that she had a date with Romeo that day. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, you go on that, and then I'm gonna, like, hang out with our other friends. So then we meet up with them both afterwards, and she was like, did you feel like there were flirty vibes between you guys? And I was like, no, like, not really. Like, I honestly didn't think so. And then Kira we went out that night. She didn't tell us that Romeo was invited or anything like that. So we show up to the club. I show up a little late and with some of my other girlfriends, and Kira's already in the club. And she was like doing her thing in the club from what I understand. And then Romeo was outside and we couldn't get in. So the three of us were standing outside, like Kira's inside doing her own thing with other people perhaps. And then we were outside. So we take Romeo to another bar, like we adopt him, and we're
Who's
like,
the three? Who's this crew?
It's me, Tessa, and Daria,
Okay.
all from Clayton season.
I remember Tessa. Daria, which one? Remind us who she
She
was.
left night one. She's a lawyer. She went to Harvard and Yale. Yeah, super impressive. Yeah.
My gosh.
So then we adopt Romeo, and he also has his hair bleached. He literally met up with us earlier in the day, hair normal, didn't say anything. He goes, I have to leave. He shows up, hair bleached. We were like, is that Romeo? Like, we're
That
standing
checks
outside
out.
the club. We're like, what is going on? We're like, that's Romeo. And it's Halloween. So we shepherd him away. And then he's kind of in the club. He's like, we went to a bar. He's in the bar acting like he's the Bachelor. Like, he's pulling all of us individually. to go chat. And I was like, this is strange. So I didn't know what to make of him at all that first day. I was like, this man's is like, something's going on. So,
God, so his behavior is consistent.
His behavior was consistent, yeah. So then, so Romeo and I were like talking the whole night. And at this point, like, I'm still like, I don't know what is going on with him. So then after that, it was just such a weird moment where, so Kira comes back, she like rejoins the group. And then she asks him point blank, she's like, who are you feeling more, me or Jill? And he said, Jill. He said me. And I was like, what? I was like, there's no way, because I wasn't like, I had just met him that day. I wasn't romantically interested in him at that point. I just met him. So it was very strange. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. This is bad. Like, no, like I feel bad because you went on a date with him earlier today. Like, what the hell? So very strange. So then the three of us just become friends. Like the three of us are just friends. There's no, like, Kira and I were like, we're not going to let a guy get in the middle of our friendship. Like, we're good. We like smooth it all out. We all are talking just as friends. It's fine. And then, you know, Kira visits Romeo a couple more times in New York. I see him maybe like once. And then I found out that they had kissed in the club. Like Romeo and I were like flirty friends. Like you could tell there was like some sort of like attraction there. Obviously I knew because he told Kira the first day that he met me that he was interested in me. So I knew that. So we were kind of like flirty friends. And then I found out that they had kissed in the club. They kissed in the club and they didn't tell me. Romeo
weekend?
ended up, no.
Oh, a
couple months later. Yeah, a couple months later. So, and they didn't tell me about it. I just knew the way they were both talking about the weekend that something had happened. And so like my gut was like, something happened. Like, I don't know what it is, but something's telling me that they like hooked up. So I just like point blank asked Romeo. I was like, did you kiss Kira this week? I was like, oh, so did you kiss Kira? And he's like, yeah. So actually like the thing about Romeo is he can't lie. Like that's the thing about Romeo is he does not lie. Like he just doesn't have the capability to lie. So I knew he was being like honest with me. And so I was like hurt by it because they just didn't tell me about it. And I just thought that like, I don't know, like obviously I didn't have any ties to Romeo. Like you guys are free to do whatever you want, but as like all of us are friends, like I kind of want to know just so I know like what to do with myself, like how I should be conducting myself.
This has been a love triangle that you didn't know you were in since the very beginning.
Yeah, since like the very beginning, yes.
This is bizarre.
Yeah.
But at what point were you like, I'm feeling him, or I like him, or I want to pursue? Like, at what point did that happen for you?
It was kind of like on and off because Romeo is like the way he is on the show is kind of the way he is in real life. So there were weeks where I'd be like, yeah, like we are having consistent good conversation. This is good. And then the next week I'd be like, just kidding. I don't know. Like, I don't like this at all.
But were you expressing that you were having those feelings to Kira at all? Because you guys are.
I was expressing like I'm not sure how to feel. I wasn't like for sure I like him. I want to pursue something. Definitely not that because I wasn't sure. And she had expressed that as well. Like I know she said on talking it out that like I hadn't expressed that to her, and definitely the communication could have been better for sure because I didn't know where her feelings stood either, like at all.
Does that make you question your friendship with Kira like at that point?
It did. So when I found out that they had kissed, like she was planning on coming to like visit me perhaps. And I was like, so when I called her, I was like, hey, like I know what happened in New York and like it's fine, but like I just wish that you guys had like told me, you know? And so that hurt me. And then she had apologized. And Natasha, do you have any questions?
Wait, I have a question because you said Kira had went to see Romeo a few times and you had only seen him once after that. So were they like doing their thing and then he was just playing the field? Is that
I don't know.
He was...
I to this day have no idea. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he could have been doing that. He very well could have been doing that.
He 100% was doing that. He's telling you sweet nothings. He's telling her sweet nothings. She's coming to visit him. There's things happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, going through all this prior to the show and knowing everything you know, and everything seems to be kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you going down in Paradise and having any, like, why are you even trying to make anything work with Romeo day one?
Great question. So
she flipped it off real quick.
Yeah, I did. So when
Which makes sense now that you did,
To be
because it
fair,
was
yeah.
actually kind of confusing how fast you did shut it down. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
because
go
that
ahead.
was like the final chance.
Yeah.
So like before Paradise, like after, you know, like Kira had apologized to me. She was like, she sent me this big long text message. We had conversations about it. And then we just kind of decided to go our separate ways. So I didn't talk to Romeo or Kira since like the beginning of this year, like January. So I hadn't talked to them at all. I didn't know where anything stood. I thought that Kira and I had honestly like smoothed it over. And if I saw her in person, it would be fine. And so when I went down to the beach, I wasn't initially being like, I want to see Romeo. I was like, I know there has to be a conversation. Like I knew there was going to have to be a conversation. And the conversation that everyone saw was the first time that we had talked since that happened.
Okay.
So yeah, he had expressed, he was like, I want a clean slate. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great, but is it actually going to be a clean slate? And it wasn't. And so once that kind of like revealed itself, I was like, okay, I can't do this, because this is like months and months and months of you kind of like not being real with me. And then again, with like the Britney stuff out of nowhere, it's like, I just can't trust you.
And okay. And then, so how's your relation? So he essentially that day chooses you over Kira. What is your relationship like with Kira at this point? Are you guys just like not cool anymore?
Right now?
No,
No.
at the point of you being chosen. So like basically Romeo told Kira, beat it.
Oh.
I want to pursue this with Jill. What is
Right.
your relationship like?
Yeah. So like the first day that we met, Kira and I were fine. We were like, okay, yeah, we're not going to let this like interfere with our friendship. Like we were not really thinking that this was going to go anywhere at all.
Wait, when you say this isn't going to interfere in our friendship, meaning the fact that she kissed Romeo.
Oh, no. The
No.
fact that he was
What?
interested in pursuing me.
Oh, the fact that he was
Oh.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The fact
And
So
so
you
you
and
guys are
Kira-
like, cool.
So you and Kira are still friends?
Yep, y'all cool.
We were friends, yes.
Okay, yeah, day one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's a
so
lot to
confusing.
unpack. Yes.
I know,
Yes.
it's a lot to
so yes. Okay. So now it makes sense. And fast forward when he says, what, you know, Kira comes back, Kira leaves. Why were you so done when you were done? Like Joe said, like it was so
Yeah.
quick and we all were like, what? It's because before the show, you had already given him another chance? Is that
I had given
is
him,
that-
yes, I had given him another chance. And that's why, like I said on the show, like when I give someone a second chance, usually they do something with it. Like
Yeah.
if someone's given a second chance, usually they like try to make it right. But he ended up doing like the complete opposite of what he should have done. And so he was and also just because like there were also a lot of little things that people didn't see that contributed to it. Like after Kira and I had the fight on the beach, like Romeo was nowhere to be found. Like he did not come check on me at all. He didn't talk about it with me. It was very strange. So like, and then I watch it back and I see him, he's like laughing and like, he's kind of enjoying that people are fighting over him. And I'm just like, come on. Like, so that was ridiculous to me. And then also, there was a point like the night that he kissed Brittany, I wasn't like feeling well. And I was like, oh, hey, can you go get me some electrolytes? And like, I'll get this day bed for us. Like all day I had just been like, I just want to hang out. So I was like, I don't feel well. Can you just go get me some like electrolytes and like a drink and then bring it back to the day bed and we'll just like start our night. And then I didn't see him for the rest of the night. Like he did not care if I lived or died. Like
I
literally
can't
did
believe. So I'm actually surprised, and I think I might have tweeted this, that he gave you a rose because you said to him like,
yeah, I was like, we're totally
you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
And so like why? But I think why do you think he did that? To save face for himself?
I think partially. I think he did feel bad about it. And so that's why I know he had said that this is going, like part of the mess will have been cleaned up if I do this. And because like, I guess I had wasted like a lot of that week. I'd wasted pretty much all of that week on him. And so I didn't have any other options at all. So I think that's probably why he did it.
Okay. So are there, besides like, I actually want to know, even going into Paradise, were there any other guys besides Romeo you were into? And then after you shut it down with Romeo, is there anybody else you're like, oh, maybe that? Because we heard you talk about Rodney and just like certain people. So who are you feeling before going on to Paradise, and then while you're there after Rodney, or after you cut it off with Romeo?
Yeah. So before Paradise, I was like, I had like a list of people like I would be kind of interested in meeting, but I was mainly interested in getting to know Rodney.
Okay.
So he was like my number one, like the entire time.
Okay. And then after you shut it down with Romeo, what are you thinking now? Because now you have the rose.
Yeah. So after I shut down with Romeo, I was hopeful that more people would come down. And when Rodney came down, I was super excited. I hadn't really been able to explore a lot of other connections. I was trying to, but you know, a lot of people were just like in their heads and like they weren't being really receptive. So I was actually super surprised. Like I remember going into that week being like, oh, like I'll be like Jacob was on the first night. Like I've got a free rose. Like people are going to be coming up to me left and right, and they just weren't. And so that was like a dagger to the heart. Like it was a huge hit to like my confidence and like everything. Like I was just like still really struggling.
But why do you think that is? Why do you think these guys were so like, oh my God, we need more women. We need more women. But like,
yeah, they won't go after anybody that's there.
I know.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think partially because like I feel like I was like cursed. Like I was cursed by Romeo and like that whole situation. No one wanted to deal with that. And obviously I was being really emotional and I was like showing some sides of me that weren't the most attractive. And so in that situation, and so I understand that like people could have had like a preconceived notion of me. And so that's maybe why, but a lot of the guys in general just weren't being aggressive, like at all, like across the board. None of them.
Tell.
We see that with like, that's the issue with like, with Genevieve and Justin. That was the issue with like Logan and Shanae. It's like, these guys just weren't really putting in a lot of effort in general.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess we see that a little bit. The Logan and Shanae actually situation, I find another
Very
one
confusing.
that's quite confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very confusing.
But now you're like, there's Jacob. Jacob's been there from the beginning. You guys go.
Yeah,
on
how
a
did that
date.
come about?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the date, how it went, and after.
Yeah. So that was super unexpected. I remember the first week, like when I saw him in the Leaf, I was like, oh my God, like who is this clown? Like absolutely not. I was like, I remember being in an interview and being like, who am I going to get engaged to? Jacob, like a Tarzan. I didn't even know his name. I was calling him Jericho. Like I was like, that dude, like really?
That talks about women's eyebrows? No.
So strange. So, like he was just like such a character and such a goof that like we would just pass each other on the beach and just like make faces at each other and that's it. Like we really did not have any interaction. And so then one night we like at a cocktail party, we just decided like we were just having a regular conversation. We're like, wait, this is actually kind of going somewhere. Like let's go sit down and like actually have a talk. And so then we did. And then people describe it as like, we were just screaming in each other's faces like the entire time. We were just like, me too, like, no way. And we just like really connected and like, it just kind of erupted from there. And so that was a huge surprise. I was not expecting that from Jacob out of all people.
Okay. And then
Sometimes
how
all you need is just a sense of humor with someone. And you're like, you know what? That's the spark that I need.
He seems like he's
Especially
down
in
for
Vegas.
whatever.
Yeah, down for whatever and just like doesn't take himself too seriously, but also like he does have like a lot of depth and he's so sweet. Like if he cares about you, he is extremely sweet and like caring. And that's what was like so like no one had given me the time of day really this entire time. And he really like made me feel special. Like doing little things, like just super special.
Okay, so then after the date, are you like, okay, I'm actually excited to be here and I'm excited about
How are we going to gloss over the date,
we're just going
Joe?
to skip the
Wait
date?
a minute. No. I need to talk about the date because, you know, Tia was naked on the date. You're naked on a date. I mean, how was that? Like, please.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I did not know what to expect at all. They were just like, okay, wear a bikini, you know, this is the typical date things. And then so we show up and it was like right up our alley. We were talking about the full moon earlier that day and it was a full moon like ritual. And so it was kind of just like perfect. And I love like esoteric kind of stuff like that, like crystals. And I'm so about that kind of thing and like spiritual healing. And he's so open to it as well. And so it was just perfect. And when they asked us to get naked, I was just like, we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, like, let's do it. Like, we were just down for anything. And that's what I was so excited about Jacob. Like, I was so excited because he was really like down for whatever and made me feel like good and safe and special in that space. And so I could not have done that with anybody else. It like had to be him because it was just so fun. And anybody else, I feel like he'd be like, oh my God, like so awkward. But yeah, I feel like I was like, I'm not going to get naked on the show. Like, there's no way you won't catch me dead. But I just feel like it was like super healing. And it was like, we were glowing afterwards. And like, people were just like, oh my God, this really worked for you because you were so grounded. And it just felt good. It just felt good. It was empowering to me, honestly.
Yeah, at least yours was spiritual nudity. I had to play fucking volleyball.
I know, yeah, that is rough.
Things was bouncing all over the place.
That shit was tough.
Was there where was there attraction there?
Yeah.
Were you guys like really into each other after that? After you got nude?
I think so. I can only speak for myself, but obviously like he looks like he stepped off of like he looks like Fabio, like like a romance novel. Like he is just like chiseled, gorgeous. It's like, how could I not?
I think it was both ways. He said his favorite thing about you is your buttocks.
Yeah, which is okay. Like I was like, yeah, okay, like I'll take it. He was like, I take what I can get. Yeah, it's like thank God there's a black box so no one can actually see. Because could have done a little more work on the butt before. But that was nice to hear. Yeah, he's just so goofy. And yeah, I mean, I just felt really good around him. Like, I really felt like I could be myself because we're both like so weird and bizarre. Like, it just kind of worked.
Yeah. Okay.
And you guys, so y'all, you mean to tell me after this date, all the connection, all the oil, all the love, all the readiness, there was no boom boom room.
No.
Was that talked about?
Yeah, nobody's been yet.
No, that was not talked about at all.
He didn't bring it up.
No, not to me.
See?
At least.
That.
Would you have been offended? Would you have been offended if he brought it up?
I wouldn't have been offended, but I would have said no because like we just weren't ready. Like we just weren't ready.
Yeah.
And I remember him like I guess he told in like he was telling the boys like back in the boys' quarters like how the date was, and then like Johnny had told Victoria what he said, and he was like, and I saw her boobs and her butt, and they were really good. Like,
nice.
Awesome.
That checks out.
Like, thank you.
Yes. Really
Okay, so
that's just Jacob.
Yeah, I will say, I think you really, when you came out, he was, I remember it vividly because I was paying very close attention, like, I'm waiting for you to be a scumbag. And he was like,
yeah, I know.
It was really cute. It was cute.
Yeah,
it was
really sweet.
It was really cute.
Okay.
He looked up, looked down, looked away. It was cute. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys after this date, you're into each other. Great night for you. You're finally like, nice.
I know.
And then you look over, Kara comes down she comes down and then pulls Jacob.
Yeah.
And they go talk and they talk for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you get to the point where you're fed up and you're just like, I'm going to bed.
Well, it's also like the 8th time that it's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a
not just with Jacob too, with Romeo as well. Like it's like that's enough.
I know.
So,
it was a lot.
I guess like what was going on in your mind when that went down?
Yeah, I mean, she was the last person that I would have expected to see because she had gone home, and so I thought that that was that. And then I was just like, is this really happening to me? Like again, like it felt very targeted. And I know that like she didn't have any idea that obviously like Jacob and I had just come back from a one-on-one. Like she didn't know what was going on the beach. But like to me in that moment, it felt super targeted. And so I was just like, how is this happening to me again? I was really frustrated because I was having such a good day. That was the only day in paradise where I didn't cry. So I know,
those are
like
rare
days, babe.
So rare.
Yeah.
And so I was just like feeling super good. We were just super connected, and I was just excited to like end the night on a good note. And so obviously I was really shocked, and I said some choice things for sure. I was just like really frustrated, and I don't know. I think the way that I come off is like a bit insecure, because like I'm worried about what they're talking about and everything. But I think if you put yourself in that situation, like it's frustrating, and you would be insecure in that situation. So yeah, it was tough. And that was like the last thing that I was expecting to happen at all.
Before Kira went home, did you ever
Mm-hmm.
know or hear that she was interested, like really interested in Jacob?
I didn't know she was that interested in Jacob at all. I just thought she was one of 3 suitors that Jacob was kind of cycling through that night. Because when when I talked to Jacob, he was like feeling Haley, and then later that night he was like, wait, I think Lace, and so wait, maybe Kira. Like he was really between the 3.
Because
that was happening for sure.
Yeah, his
that was
rose
the
was up in
cocktail
the
party.
air.
Oh, wait, who did
Yeah.
he give his rose to?
He gave it to
Gave it
Lace.
to
Lace.
Lace.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Which I was actually shocked because I thought watching it, I was like, it would make sense to give it to Kira. 'Cause
Yeah.
They
Because
seem
they
to be into each
kiss,
other.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right. She
and
did the whole
so-
Tarzan thing. Yeah.
Right. So I didn't
But like,
know that
was
they
that
had.
watching it? I was like, but is she doing that because she was really into him, even though she said she was really into him, or was it because of the whole? I don't know.
No,
it was.
she needed a rose.
So I just wondered if she told her girls, like, "Girl, I'm about to do this for this rose real quick," and I don't know.
I have no idea. Kira and I didn't speak after like the first night. We like
the Romeo thing.
Yeah, we like stayed away from each other, and so I didn't really get any insight on that. And yeah, I just thought that Jacob had made his decision, and it was just like an early like week 1 type of connection, and unfortunately didn't work out, and she went home. Like I didn't think it was that serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jacob comes back and he's like, well, she talked for a long time, but I shut it down. I'm into you.
Yeah.
Are you like, I know you probably just want to go to bed, but are you like relieved? Are you happy? Are you having
Yeah.
questions?
No, I honestly like, even when I was walking away and I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I had faith in Jacob. Like I knew I had faith in like our connection, and I kind of knew that it was going to like go like be in my favor. It was just going to work out because we had such a good day. I wasn't really concerned that he was going to do anything, honestly. But it was just more frustrating for me to have to deal
you're
with
like,
that
you've
situation.
got to be kidding me again.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like pretty confused, honestly. But yeah, I was obviously happy that he handled himself the way he did, because like he was super sweet, and he came in like, I always like to say that when he came into like the treehouse area, like he was like a golden retriever, just like, what's going on, like trying to find me. And he was like asking Britt to like help him find me, and it was really cute.
Well, he let Kira down like really, I mean, nicely too.
Yeah,
Like
he's a very
politely.
sweet guy. Yeah,
And like you do also like, obviously you guys aren't friends, but watching it, you do feel for her too, because she's like,
for sure. Yeah,
it's never easy, like
Putting
taking a
yourself out there.
chance, putting yourself out there, and then getting shut down.
totally.
Yeah. What happened with Rodney? Because you were talking about Rodney, you were excited he was there. Did you just not think it was reciprocated, and that's why you didn't go after? And then he starts doing this thing with Lace. What happened?
Yeah, so it's not that I didn't really feel like it was reciprocated, because like we were like laughing the whole night, like we were like having a good time, and he was like, oh man, like I should have taken you on this date, Jill. And then Brandon came back and was like, would you have felt bad if you were like the second choice? Like, would you have gone on a date with Rodney? I was like, yes, of course. Like, I would totally have gone on a date with him. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't care if I'm the 5th, 6th, 7th choice. Like, I'm going to go on a date with Rodney. So, yeah, like, so, and I was like, oh, damn. And then I saw him and Lace together. And then I was just like, I'm going to back off, because I've been involved in a love triangle already. And Lace does scare me. She does scare me quite a bit. And so I didn't want to get into something with Lace. And I was just like, you know what? Like, it's fine. Like Rodney clearly knows that I have interest in him. I've expressed that to him. And if he wants to explore something with Lace, that's fine. So I just, and honestly, part of me just didn't feel like getting rejected by Rodney, because that would have hurt. That would have hurt.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lace kind of scares Rodney too, and Rodney's like, yeah, this is my woman now.
Okay, couple.
She's like, no, this is my man now.
we're gonna play a game, but I want a couple final thoughts. What are your final thoughts on Romeo and Kara leaving together?
God, yes. So that was really confusing and shocking to me. I was not expecting that at all. I woke up the next morning and was like, is Kira still here? Like, I had no idea what happened. And so once I found out, I wasn't sure about the how real it was. Honestly, I didn't know if it was just like an easy out for Romeo.
Oh, honey, he slithered up to her to save the day. Just came out of fucking thin air.
Yeah. And so
So weird.
So weird.
so bizarre. The whole thing was so bizarre. And I was just like, you know what, you guys do your thing. I'm done being a part of this. Like, do your thing. And so all the best. Goodbye.
Okay, and then if you could tease the rest of Paradise for us, without telling us, obviously something we can't hear.
What can we look forward to?
Yeah.
Jill.
So there is, I think people are privy to this information that there is a twist coming. Lots of new people coming to the beach, and relationships that you think are solid may not be as solid as you think. And there
Don't tell us
be
that shit, Jill.
Lots of shakeups. There's going to be a lot. There's lots of trouble in paradise ahead.
Jill,
Nice.
don't
Nice.
do it to me.
That's a good. That
But
honestly,
it's true.
Jill, we've had many people on this podcast, and we've asked a lot of them to tease what we could look forward to, and that was by far you won.
best.
You're number one.
And all you have to say is there's trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
Trouble in paradise. There
Even
is.
if I didn't have to watch the show, I would now.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Wild. Okay. All
Let's
right,
play a
Jill.
game. Time to play a game.
Oh, I forgot there's
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah. Before we start the game, how have you been doing though with it airing? I did want to ask you that. How have you been doing? How has it been going?
It's definitely up and down. There's peaks and valleys for sure. There's a lot of love, but then obviously there's that little bit of hate, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, it takes over your mind.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like anybody could say absolutely anything to me. I've seen it all, and I do not give a rip. I do not give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. And so that's been powerful and useful. But it is extremely stressful to have your personal life and you being so vulnerable on TV. So that's been, it's been hard, obviously, but I have a great support system around me. So
Amen.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. Okay. Thank you. All right. Can we play a little game with you?
Let's do it.
It's rapid fire. And we're going to just ask you some questions and only use the people who have entered Paradise thus far.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because we know wild stuff is coming. We know.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All right.
Yeah.
So, who is the biggest flirt on the beach right now?
Oh, biggest flirt. I feel like Logan kind of. You don't really see it, but
What?
Logan,
You don't see it.
yeah, you don't see it, but Logan does kind of. Yeah.
Where? Okay. All right. Good to know.
That's
Most
my answer.
dramatic. Most dramatic.
Probably me.
Yeah, I was going to say, honey, you are the drama. Is it
Me or Genevieve? Am I the drama? Me or Genevieve for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Genevieve.
You're dramatic, but I think Genevieve might have you.
Genevieve
Not by
is-
much, but she's got you beat.
Yeah.
I say it's a toss-up. Toss-up, babe. All right. Life of the party.
Life of the party. Probably Rodney. He's always just bringing the good energy.
Yeah.
Rodney,
Okay.
for sure.
He has great energy.
Rodney
Most
from
li-
Allstate.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but most likely to be found sleeping on a day bed.
Oh my God, Brandon, Serene.
I was going to say Brandon.
Brandon
Okay.
and Serene together.
Together. Okay. Love that. Who was that our season? Joe and Serena? That was
Oh,
That was
always
y'all.
asleep. Just
Yep,
not
it was
worried
the-
about a damn thing. Y'all were able to sleep
Joe and
so
Serena.
soundly.
Hey, guess what, Tia? You were right by us sleeping too. So
Exactly, because y'all are my friends. I had no prospects.
it was me, Serena, Tia, and
Me and
Becca.
Becca.
We're just always sleeping.
Becca. Yeah, Tia and Becca sleeping together, and Joe and
And
Serena, I
Thomas
guess.
just let me be his girlfriend too. It's just
Oh.
a fucking thing.
Yeah, Thomas was making games. Yeah, okay. All right. Most surprising hookup thus far.
Oh God, most surprising hookup so far. Oh, Lace and Rodney.
Yeah.
Duh. That
sure,
was
for sure.
not on my bingo card at all. Not on your
Best
Wait,
dress.
someone else. Sorry,
Oh.
not to interrupt your game. I know we gotta go, but who did Brittany make out with when she got back from her date?
Andrew.
Andrew. That was surprising too.
I was here for it. I was
Yeah,
here for
yeah,
it.
Brett. Love Brett.
Best dress.
Oh, best dressed. Brittany has amazing clothes. Oh,
She's
the
so
best.
cute. It
She
doesn't
is.
show her enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Serving. Biggest glow up from their season.
Shanae,
Yeah.
you got to admit. You have to admit. It's
Yeah.
looking pretty good.
I hated to admit it, but I mean, I thought she was pretty on the other
Oh,
her
she's
show too.
gorgeous. I'm talking about
Yeah.
on the insides. Because we can do a lot to the outside, but on the inside.
Okay. Biggest gossip.
Oh my God. Ooh, it could be me too. I always be sneaking in people's bunks and being like, okay, tell me what's going on.
After this last episode, I'm like, it's James. Like, where's
James?
this commentary coming from?
Actually, so true. James would always ask me for information. Always. That is so true.
Always has a comment too. I'm like, how are you privy to any of this, James? But go
So
ahead.
true. I didn't even think about that. James.
Okay, biggest WTF moment in Paradise so far.
Probably, I mean, the Romeo and Kira stuff for me, for sure.
Yep.
Kira coming back to the beach. It has to be. That was the biggest shock.
And right now, who is the couple who is most likely to get married?
Brandon and Serene.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon Street. All right, and also rapid fire. First person that comes to mind. Who's your bestie on the beach right now?
Right now, Genevieve.
Genevieve. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Jill, thank you so much for coming on. You were great.
Of course.
And
Yes.
looking forward to seeing what happens with you.
Me too.
I'm so ready.
She said me too.
And you looked great glistening in your oils.
Oh, thank
you.
did.
really
I said,
did.
Go ahead, Jill. Go ahead. No one's looking at him.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at
It's
you.
all downhill from here. That's the last time you're going to see me looking good.
Oh no. Oh. I
like
like her.
Yeah,
I love
she was
Jill.
cool.
Yeah.
She was cool. She's definitely someone going through it early.
Yeah. She was
And by the
trying,
sounds
man.
of it,
She was trying.
I just want to know the one thing that was still just a little, I mean, at one point we were all with our fingers on our heads, like what? It's like the triangle just never made sense. And I feel like Romeo.
There's a crucial piece of information that we're missing.
We're
Still.
missing
We're missing
something.
something. Yeah.
And I just didn't want to keep talking about it
I
because
know.
it's just like, and you know what the crucial information is? It's Romeo's ass. Romeo bring
yeah.
his ass on this podcast.
I feel
Romeo.
well, from what Jill was saying, she was consistent with her feelings and with her everything this whole time. It was Romeo and Kira that were inconsistent. And it seems like Kira, I don't know if she's like a girl's girl for like not filling in her friend, like, hey, I'm into this dude.
If she
I don't know.
knew, but the thing is, if Jill knew that Kira was going to see Romeo multiple times and she had only seen him once, so he's physically hanging out with Kira, but on the phone with you all night. You know what I mean? Like, Romeo, what are you? I need to talk to this man.
So he's just not
is happening?
consistent. He's not consistent. Okay, he can't keep his shit straight, so then everyone else is confused.
That's what I'm saying. I think he is the missing piece. Jill just knows what she was doing, and Kira knows what she was doing. Somebody get Romeo on a podcast, please.
It was, you know what? It was so much simpler back in the day. When we were on Paradise, nobody even liked each other before a show. It was kill or be killed. No friends coming in, no one talking, no one responding to DMs.
No friends in the industry. My brothers. No, literally. I mean, it was just.
It's a mess. It's a mess, and honestly, a lot of it's very confusing to watch.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is confusing. I will
And
say
Logan
that.
being the biggest flirt, I'm sorry, that interesting.
Guys, Logan, I need to. There's something we're missing with him too. There's a big piece we're missing with Logan. I don't get it. I don't know. Big piece we're missing with Logan.
We'll see. Stay tuned, people.
So yeah, all right. That was great though. I'm glad we got to talk to Jill.
Cool.
Same.
She seems like she's doing well too.
Awesome. Can't wait to watch next week. Thank you so much to our listeners for being here. And make sure to catch new episodes of Bachelor in Paradise every Monday and Tuesday on ABC or Hulu.
Yes, and make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, it just helps us out, and we really appreciate it. Send us all your questions, what you want us to talk about. Make sure you follow us at ClickbaitBN on Instagram. All the links to all our socials are right there on that page.
and share your stories with us. We want to know what clickbait you guys are looking at. Clickbait is available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you guys listen. You can listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. We will see you guys next week for more drama.
Bye.
Bye.